This is why you struggle with consistency. It's not what you think. You think your lack of consistency means you're lazy, undisciplined, maybe even broken. But what if I told you that consistency isn't your problem, and it never was? You're not lazy, you're emotionally blocked, and that changes everything. Hey, welcome back to Self-Growth Studio, where we turn self-awareness into self-empowerment. Today, we're uncovering the real reason you struggle with consistency, and trust me, it's not what you think. We're going deep: habits, discipline, and the emotional patterns that keep you stuck. We've been taught that consistency is all about discipline. Just set your alarm, follow a routine, push harder. But here's the truth. If discipline alone worked, you wouldn't be watching this video. Because you've already tried, over and over. The real reason we struggle with consistency is emotional. When you procrastinate on your goals, you're not just avoiding the task. You're avoiding how that task makes you feel. Avoiding the gym? Maybe it's not laziness. Maybe it's a fear of being judged. Can't stay consistent with journaling? Maybe you're scared to face your own thoughts. Keep quitting side projects. Maybe it's perfectionism or fear of failure masked as "I'm just not motivated." Your brain is wired to avoid pain, emotional pain included. And the truth is, many of our bad habits are actually coping mechanisms for deeper wounds. When we label something as a bad habit, what we're often ignoring is why that habit formed in the first place. Every habit, yes, even procrastination, scrolling, emotional eating, served a purpose at some point. It protected you, distracted you, made things feel a little safer when you were overwhelmed, unseen, or stressed. You see, habits aren't just behavioral, they're emotional. And inconsistency is often your nervous system rejecting the discomfort associated with change. Why your brain resists consistency. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you, it's trying to keep you safe. Here's how it works. Every time you try to do something unfamiliar, like waking up early, posting online, applying for jobs, your brain scans for danger. Not lions and tigers, but emotional danger, rejection, failure, judgment, shame. And if those emotions are tied to old experiences, maybe from childhood, or a past relationship or even school, your brain will trigger resistance. Not because you're lazy, but because you're emotionally activated. Here are some real-life examples of emotional blocks disguised as inconsistency. Example 1, avoiding the gym. You say it's because you're tired, but deep down, maybe you felt humiliated in gym class as a teen, or you fear being watched, compared, judged. Example 2, can't stick with a side hustle. You say it's time management, but maybe it's actually fear. Fear that if you fail, it'll prove you're not good enough. So your brain avoids the risk entirely, keeping you safe, but stuck. Example 3, struggle to meditate or journal. You want stillness, but stillness brings up feelings you've buried for years. So instead, you scroll, you snack, you busy yourself, anything but be alone with your thoughts. Often, behind inconsistency are unconscious beliefs like, "I'm not worthy of success." "If I try and fail, I'll be exposed." "If I change, I'll lose connection with people I care about." Being visible equals being vulnerable equals getting hurt. These beliefs act like invisible weights tied to your motivation. No amount of planning can override them because they're emotional, not logical. So the next time you feel like you're self-sabotaging, pause. Ask yourself not what's wrong with me, but what part of me is trying to stay safe right now? That question alone can shift everything. Because you're not broken. You're protecting something tender inside, and you don't need to fight it. You need to understand it.